It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary Hotline Bling.
That can only mean one
Yes, baby, it can only mean one thing. It's the Culinary Hotline Bling. The power you feel. It's a Friday. It's time for a special Friday-themed edition of the Culinary Hotline. We love it. And you can say ting, ting, ting as many times as you want because it's a Friday. South Africans, we love our braai. We're emotionally connected to our braai. And today we are prepping chicken for the braai. From wings to kebabs. We've got chefs Peter Ayub and Piet Maree. Can we get a round of applause for a brand new Piet on set? Buddy, welcome to it, dude.
Thank you very much.
It's quite a manly kitchen today. We've brought a lot of knives and we have got a chicken. Now, the bottom line here, guys, is, and I'm going to jump right in here. Chicken, when you buy it already jointed, prepped, trust, I don't know what you do to a chicken, is that it's quite expensive. Whereas a whole chicken, you know where it's coming from. Often you can buy it a lot less expensive in its whole state, but it's quite difficult. No one knows how you joint the chicken. So can we start
Absolutely.
with the knives, boys?
And Graham, you know, the most amazing thing about this is when you do buy in pieces. The other day, I actually, from one retailer, I bought 4 chicken breasts, no, thighs, sorry. By the time I cleaned them, there was actually a 50% wastage. So at least with the whole bird, you know what you're getting. And then with the inside, you can use it for stocks and things like that as well. So that's what's very cool about it. It looks a lot easier once you've done this a few times. So
100%.
we take that and we take the one wing off.
So you start with the wing. Is that the way that it's done? When
Yeah, we
you're in
normally
chef school, they say start with
This
the wing.
is what I teach my students at school, okay? And the most important thing is you make sure that you don't take a lot of the breast away when you take the wing off, okay? So you want to keep that. I hate it when people cut off the tail ends because those tips to me are nice and crunchy and
yeah, there's a
absolutely
lot
amazing.
of oil in there that's going to absorb a
Then
lot
the
of the
next
flavor.
little thing, and it's quite, I don't know if the camera wants to zoom in on this, but you have this layer of fat. You can see that white line. If you want the skin to stay on the breast, you cut it on that side of the line so that when you roast it, the whole thing's covered in. I'll show you if I do it the wrong way now. Look at that. You can see half the breast lost.
And that's going to retract as soon as it
Absolutely. So on the other side, I'll do it the proper way. And then you just take your knife. That's the little marble. Bend it in, through there, down, and then straight.
This is supposed to boost our confidence. Now I'm looking at you, Jules, thinking I will never, ever be able to do that. No,
Okay,
it's a trial and error thing.
Okay, now have a
work
look,
it out,
have a
feel
look
it
at the
out.
difference now. So remember that side I cut on the wrong side
Yeah.
of the line? Something so silly.
Just on the other
Just
side
on
of
the
that
other
white
side.
line.
Now have a look at that. The whole breast has skin.
Wow.
Okay, so this is the kind of things that,
That's
once
a
again, it's just
hack right
practice.
there,
Into the
man.
marble, snap it down, and voila. Okay?
You don't want to cut through the bone, otherwise you've got shards and stuff. That's going to
Completely, man.
Just crunch that off. That obviously is beautiful for your stock. And then straight through the center. And yeah, I have been doing this for 30 years.
I was going to say, buddy, like there is a certain confidence
But
and
look-
almost psycho-like
Can
glee
you guys
that you
see
have.
that?
Yeah.
Just from cutting on the wrong side of the line.
That's insane. And with the breast especially, because I suppose it can dry out a lot more quickly, you need the skin. You need that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You'll never remove the skin, man. Never remove the skin.
That's God's gift to us, is chicken skin. Is that not what it is? So, Pete, I'm going to ask you to get creative here. We've got some flavoring. A lot of people have asked us on our social media platforms, what is the best way to flavor a chicken?
That pretty much depends on what your vibe is that day. So like if you're keen on a little bit of herbs and garlic and that type of thing, a lot of people go that way. I'm pretty keen on peri chicken.
Spice
so
that
always,
baby up,
always
man,
the
yeah.
vibe. Lots of chilies. And it's pretty cool to sort of add stuff like onion powder, garlic powder, some oregano. It's all sort of flavor boosters, umami boosters, that type of thing. And then obviously a lot of chili, some lemon. There you go, bro. Olive oil. That's
Layers.
the
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of times as well, people ask, when is the chicken ready? How do you know? And I mean, obviously, if you...
It's ready when it's ready, okay?
with very poncy chefs, they have a little probe that they
That's
can
me
see
there.
the temperature. They can see the temperature of the bird needs to be above 75 degrees, then you know the bird's ready. But In layman's terms, all you do is you prick it with a sharp knife, press down on it. As long as that juice comes out clear, you know the chicken's ready. Okay, so there's a little pink tinge, you know it's got to go back on the braai.
Some blood in there. Okay, we're going to get onto this really nifty little herb brush and a couple more questions. If you've got some questions, some cool comments, some braai tips when it comes to chicken, I know it intimidates a lot of us on the braai. Don't put it in the microwave first. Learn how to cook it properly, braai it properly on the braai. Peter, awesome having you guys here. And we're going to continue our culinary hotline. Bling! Ting, ting, ting!
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone. Culinary Hotline Bling. That can only mean one thing.
Welcome back, you beautiful souls. It's the culinary hotline. Bling!
Ting, ting, ting.
You'll get there, buddy.
Yeah,
You'll get
no,
there.
like,
For the rest of the day, you're going to be singing, man. Pete, love having you here. Peter, love having you here, especially because we are dealing with chicken on the braai. So many different angles and nuances. This is really cool, something that I've started doing, courtesy of my mom actually taught me how to do this, but I'm going to ask you now, please, Pete, if you can make us, it's a basting brush made out of herbs, which is awesome.
Just adding more flavor, man. Every opportunity that you have to add flavor to food, you use. But the cool thing is normally when you're braaiing, there's like a rosemary bush around the side.
Yeah.
So I just normally just pick a big
You're a real
branch, and then you just go.
You're a real
but
man. That's
if
how
you're
you do
doing
it,
it in a
just break up.
kitchen, sort of take your favorite herbs, and you just basically tie it up. Huh? So wrap it around.
And I mean, I'm amazed at how many people are growing their own herbs now. We are evolving as South African braaiers in the most amazing ways. And that's it. Some
Give
tie
a
it together,
time,
boom.
Dip it in there.
Bit of oil.
Someone brush some of these.
go
And
for
there
it.
you
Do
go,
it,
man. Done
So
and
that's
dusted.
oh man, I absolutely love that. Took you all of 5 minutes, and you can keep adding that flavour. And as it cooks, the fat from there is going to add there, and it's just going to be amazing. Chicken wings. Best part of the chicken?
Best,
Yes.
yeah, the thigh and the wing, definitely my favorites.
I agree with you fully on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not a big marinating fan. I love, because what happens is the minute you, I like marinating it for a little bit, but I tend to normally cook my chicken halfway or whatever and then start basting it with marinades and things like that.
So the natural flavours can come
Absolutely.
through,
You'll
yeah?
find because of the sugars, it starts burning, and a lot of the time you get this like really burnt outside and the inside's not cooked
There's nothing drier than a kebab.
Yeah.
Yo, let's be honest. Yes.
My favorite thing in the whole world, whether it's to make a salad dressing, whether it's to make a basting, is yogurt. I mean, there's nothing like it. The first thing what it does, it breaks down the proteins. So you can leave that overnight and it breaks down the proteins, but it just makes every part of that chicken so tender. Okay, so it's definitely one, and it's one of the best neutralizers for your body as well. So even if you're having lamb kebabs or whatever you're having, put it in yogurt, it actually breaks down that fat content for
Just
your body.
help your
and
digestive
absolutely.
system
But
a wee bit,
remember,
yeah.
this is a plain yogurt, so we definitely need a nice bit of pepper and some salt. And king is garlic, yeah?
Yeah.
So we're definitely going to put some garlic in
So
there.
it's almost equal parts of garlic and yogurt, from what I can see.
Give it a good
Might
mix
start
together.
with marinade,
That was a
man.
joke, eh?
What I would do now is I'd put these in overnight, or 5-6 hours into the yogurt, let that proteins break down, and then once they're marinated, you just give them, try get each part through like that.
And, I mean, you've already answered this, but we're going to say it again for the uninitiated. Tip on or off when it comes to a chicken wing?
Definitely on for me.
Tip
What do you
on,
say,
yeah,
Pete?
tip
Yeah,
on.
it's
Nice little crispy bit at the end of
yeah.
it.
The craziest thing now is when you go and order wings from somewhere, they cut it. They say there's 12 wings, but then you get
Yeah,
12
you
little
get-
pieces as opposed to 12
It's
wings.
a third of a wing. It's not
Exactly,
a full wing.
exactly.
And this is actually really cool, putting it on the skewer like that, because it can be quite difficult. And then these things fall through the grill and then they burn. And, then
Yeah,
it's, yeah?
and Graham, what it tends to do as well is if you spread it out like that, you could probably get 2 onto 1, but then you make sure that you've got the whole wing. You can turn it over,
Nice,
you
even
get both
cook.
sides evenly.
Keeps the skewer from burning.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. And another thing as well, just when it comes to the whole bird, like we done earlier, if you're not going to cut it completely into pieces, and you're going to do it into like a spatchcock, something I've learned over the years is actually put it into some salted water and cook it halfway. Okay, so then instead of brining it, that becomes your brine. And then also what happens as well, if you, depending on your heat source, sometimes because of the chicken's actually been already pumped with brine to get more weight into it, you lose half your weight of your chicken. So rather know that you're buying proper free range, because that is really important. And then you'll find that you're not losing all of your weight when it comes to cooking it.
Oh,
It's an old French technique, that, eh? Poach and grill. There we go.
Absolutely.
Poach and
Absolutely.
grill, baby. Poach and grill. Okay, so we've got to cover it. I know the society is very much a staple on most South African braais. And I mean, it's a chance to get exciting. And often people who aren't going to overindulge in the meat will go the society route. What's the watchword with creating a good chicken skewer? What's the best part of the chicken to use, Pete?
You know, the
what's
first
vibe?
thing Pete said now, he said, thank goodness they've used thighs. Because
Exactly.
that is the answer.
Why?
Thighs have a little bit more connective tissue and fat, so it's difficult to overcook it. And people tend to overcook chicken, you know? Like everybody thinks, you know, chicken, you've got to cook it all the way through. Everybody's scared of that little bit of pink on the bone and that type of thing. So if you use breast and you cook it way too long in a braai, it's just going to be dry.
It's done, it's dry.
A lot of happens, you know, when it is pink on the bone, it's because of the marinade. So sometimes you're marinating it, and it actually tends to tinge the bone pink, and then
dyes
people think that your chicken's actually raw.
Exactly.
So
Oh, man, I love it. We're going to have to end it there. Pete, you're coming back, my brother.
No worries,
we
man.
we love you, dude. For just about any element of our chicken recipe today, SMS the keyword chicken to 33728, and we'll send you some of these gems. We'll have as many of these hacks as we can on our social media platforms. Gentlemen, an absolute pleasure. Braai, your
Lucky
hearts
man,
out
for
this
sure.
weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, that
Friday,
was the Culinary
Friday.
Hotline
Lucky man.
playing. Ting, ting, ting.